Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Doctor Who Reviews. I am your host this time. My name is Kat, also known as Concave Usurper. And, well, we're doing things a little bit differently this week, as you may have noticed. So, in this case, to my virtual left, he is the very model of a modern mirroring general. It's FreezingInferno.
Hello!
And you know what? To my virtual right, he thinks 18 months is too long to wait. Bring back the doctor. Don't hesitate. It's Rainiac.
Nice.
Oh my god!
I don't know what I was expecting my intro this week, but it certainly wasn't Doctor in Distress.
It was just a little too perfect.
It was.
Oh my god. I'm just like 18 months is still on the way to this other country. Oh my god.
Nope. It's even better.
See, I thought I might regret letting Ken do the intros this week, and I was absolutely right.
Well, what have we got this week for you all on Doctor Who Reviews?
Pain.
Well, this week we have a twofer. So we've got here the Sixth Doctor's first appearance in The Twin Dilemma. And then we have the fourth serial of season 22 with the two doctors. I did my research, so yeah.
Yeah, this is lovely. I'd like to tell a fun story. There's a real fun story about these stories. Both of them, in my case, were Christmas gifts. The two doctors I got from my family, like when I was starting out in the classic Doctor Who. I just had it on my wish list.
Nice.
Got it. But this other one, I'll tell you a little story. This particular Christmas, I was part of the Something Awful Doctor Who Threads Secret Santa. So I bought somebody, I think it was some DVDs or something. So one holiday evening, I go to the mailbox and I see a DVD-sized package. Oh, my Secret Santa gift must have arrived. I opened it, and it was the first story we're going to cover, The Twin Dilemma. And I was like, wow, I can't believe my Secret Santa sent me The Twin Dilemma. But that was when I saw in my inbox, along with the package, pause for dramatic effect as I upload this to our chat, and it gets uploaded to your screens any solitary second now. Please. That.
I can't believe you still have that.
Yeah, I found it. I thought I still had that in my Amazon / receipts drawer here, and I still have it.
I love that message.
It could possibly be from one of my podcast co-hosts.
I have a tradition where what I like to do is with some of my best friends is I give them one big gift, and then I give them, smaller gifts throughout the year. So, Frez, I got him a Vita, and I've gotten him smaller gifts like, DVDs and figures, and then Rainiac, I got a Switch, so on. Something else I also like to do is just send the occasional troll gift. This was one of those.
Troll is right, because this is the story. Here we are, at last, putting it to use and talking about it with you.
Oh,
The Twin Dilemma.
You know what? You know what? That actually reminds me. I also have to introduce our very special third guest.
Wait, what?
Oh, boy.
Well...
We have a third guest?
Well... Our third guest will come in just a minute. I'm going to have to invite him in, but we'll get to him in just a second.
So I'd like to talk about the context of the Twin Dilemma here before we begin, because this story is considered, in at least two big fan polls, to be the worst Doctor Who story of all time. Now, is that apt?
And one could possibly say also your least favorite, right?
My least favorite? I don't know about that, because I really, really hate Lie of the Land. But
well, of classic Who. I can think of
I can actually think of least favorite ones, less favorite than
But
Twin
still.
Dilemma.
It's the fandom's least favourite.
Yeah.
Now, the thing about it is, watching it, it's like, it's bad, but it doesn't seem like the worst ever, but context is key here. This episode was, quite frankly, a clusterfuck. This episode is the finale of season 21, as it were. It's not really a traditional season finale like in Classic Who, it's just the last episode. Because the producer thought, I don't want to make people wait 9 months to see what the new Doctor's like. Which, you can understand the logic of that, in a way. But it is completely at odds with the characterization that they decided for that Doctor, which is, this Doctor is the most arrogant, brash, smug, self-satisfied, abusive piece of shit imaginable going through regenerative trauma.
I feel this could have actually worked if it had been handled better.
It could have worked if, like, if they didn't do that.
Trust me, having seen the Twin Dilemma, I highly doubt it would have worked even if they had not done that.
Yeah. And I mean, the problems go on because the story is not very good, and the budget is basically all gone because they use it throughout the other episodes of the series. So
Honestly, the one positive for me is that it guest stars Kevin McNally.
I don't even know who that is.
He plays Captain Jack's friend in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
I forget the character's name. Is it Mr. Gibbs?
And who is he? Who is he in this?
He's Lang.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Yeah, Hugo Lang.
Yeah.
He's sent to find the twins.
Okay. I got you. Yeah.
On board the space station. It is a little strange seeing him this young, though.
Yeah. So that's like what, 20 years before Pirates?
About that, yeah.
Like that. Of course. So you have, hey, we're going to tease what the new Doctor is like with, hey, this new Doctor's unstable and an unlikable asshole. So the effect was worse. I'm quoting another review here. It was worse than waiting. Because if you had to wait, you'd be like, I wonder if the new Doctor is not going to be very good. But here's the Twin Dilemma saying, no, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. Let's just get that right.
Pretty much. And I think now would be about the best time to go ahead and introduce our special guest. So,
Oh, God. Oh, God. Here we go. Let's see.
I know for a fact that this is what, at the very least, it's not one of your most liked episodes, if not one of your least favorite episodes. So, I got in contact with someone who this episode is not really close to their heart, but they do like to talk about it.
Oh my god, did you actually?
No, you didn't do what I think you did.
Did you actually?
And I think that he has a few words to say.
No way.
You did!
No way! Oh my god!
So, Radiac will put this in the video, but here's a little message for everyone from Colin Baker.
Oh my god!
Jerry. You're going to sit down and watch your least favourite Doctor Who, are you? Or you have just watched it, one or the other, and it's the two Doctors? Well, I'm appalled. And on behalf of Patrick Troughton, I'm doubly appalled. He was the best Doctor ever. Well, ish. And, well, that's because he did the hardest job. He did that first regeneration. Without him, I wouldn't be standing here behind this mask talking to you. And yes, I am behind a mask, as you might be aware. But I don't think you're quite ready to see the awful truth of what happens when you're deprived of your TARDIS for nigh on 40 years. What happens is you end up not looking like this, but like this. That Artron energy from the TARDIS has a lot to answer for, doesn't it? I think that your friends have been playing a wee prank on you, Cat and Brett. Oh, they're very difficult people, aren't they, Cat and Brett? I think it's funny to upset you, to pretend that you don't like the two Doctors. Well, I know. It's your very favourite of all time. Isn't it? It had better be. Look, I assume you must be in America. Are you in America, Jerry? I don't know, because they don't tell you on these things where the people are, but Kat and Brett and Jerry, you sound like you're American, but you're clearly very good friends, and you're friends of the Doctor. And if you are aware of Big Finish, I can tell you that sitting in this very room that I'm sitting in now, if you can see around, my little study, I recorded a story yesterday for Big Finish with David Tennant. I'm not supposed to tell anybody, so I haven't told you. But so you can be properly surprised when it's released. But maybe you don't listen to Big Finish. But if you don't, you should, because Big Finish audios are the best thing since sliced radio. There you are. I hope you had a fun time. I hope you did enjoy Two Doctors. It was fun doing it. My favourite bit is when Cassini drops onto the ground and sniffs the blood outside the villa in Spain. Lovely moment, that. I don't know if it's your birthday soon. If it is, happy birthday. If it isn't, happy any old day. Enjoy yourself. Have a good summer. Avoid coronavirus. That's what I'm doing. That's why I'm going slightly loopy. Love to you. Have a good time. Cheers. Bye.
One thing I should... excuse me for a moment.
So I don't know about you, but I feel like I should have an Asbury experience. What the hell?
What?
Oh, by the way, we're not actually doing the twin dilemma.
Wait, sorry, come again?
What?
What?
We're not actually doing the twin dilemma.
You got me to watch that for nothing?
I just got you both to watch it.
Oh, fuck you.
Look, the twin dilemma can be summed up in 2 words. It's shit.
I fucking...
Fuck you.
Okay. I need a minute. I need a minute.
I need several.
So let me get this straight. Let me just get this straight. You said we had to do the twin dilemma and the 2 doctors.
Yes.
She did.
You were lying about having to do the twin dilemma.
She was.
We watched the twin dilemma anyway.
We did.
You then paid an exorbitant sum to have Colin Baker himself shit talk us.
Yeah, I specifically told him that instead of watching your least favorite Doctor Who, we were going to watch the 2 Doctors, and he played it off so nicely.
He said my name, and oh god.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yep, and he told Rainiac off for being American, which, you know, the rumor's still about.
Yeah, I mean, he got 1 out of 3, right?
Yeah.
Well dang, I've been found out.
And how about that nice little that nice little secret that he gave us about Big Finish?
Ooh, that.
Are we allowed to keep that in?
Can we put that in? Are we going to get him in trouble? He didn't know.
No, I checked. For those of you who might be a little confused, there is this website called Cameo, where you can basically go online and pay certain actors, mostly people who don't seem to have a whole lot to do currently, in order to just get a little shout out from them, birthday messages, anniversary messages, random trolling your friends that they're going to be watching one of the worst episodes of Doctor Who and Colin Baker's history, but they're not actually going to do that. Things like that. So
Can I just ask you? Did you tell him to wear a mask of his 80s face, or did he do it?
No, he did that himself.
Oh my god, bless that man.
I said I'm going to be tricking my friend into thinking we're going to be watching his least favorite episode, and then I said, have fun with it.
Can I actually leave this info, or do I have to edit this out?
Basically, on the site, it says that we can use it for social media of any kind, we just can't monetize it, and I don't think that's a problem with us.
I can safely say that would never be a problem for us, no.
Okay, so, change of plans. I'm gonna... I'm going to take these Twin Dilemma notes and throw them in the fucking trash. I already said it. So, just to sum up for history's sake, like I said,
Yep.
conflicting decisions mixed with making Colin Baker, who's a lovely man, by the way. He's very nice. He was very sweet when he did this for us. Play an abrasive brash asshole. I was going to say that, Mr. Baker. I'm so sorry. Please don't.
Oh, you kiss us, Jerry. You absolute kiss ass.
You know what the best part is? Frez is the one who introduced me to the website.
Yep.
I know. I like once you were leading up to it, I had the lightning bolt flash in my head, and I'm like, you didn't.
Well, you should know by now. If you tell Kat not to do something, she will have to go out of her way to actually do something. So don't do that. Otherwise, honestly, you're just tempting fate at that point.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right,
Also,
so,
you want to know the best part about this, Frez?
what's that?
Rainiac was in it on the whole time.
Surprise!
You son of a bitch! I'm gonna get the two of you.
Gotcha.
He didn't watch the Twin Dilemma either.
No,
It was only you.
didn't watch
Do
it.
you know how many mirror alerts are in the Twin Dilemma?
Oh, I know.
Wait
It's
a
a
minute.
twin episode, of course.
Oh my god!
Revenge. Sweet, sweet revenge.
Oh, don't you worry. I'll find something. I swear to God.
Today has been the greatest day in my young life.
But for me, it was Monday.
I'm so happy. I'm actually crying.
I can't believe we pulled it off.
Okay. So, you know those Always Sunny in Philadelphia title cards? You can just put one up that said, Jerry gets pumped.
I'm not going to do that because the vault get absolutely murdered by the copyright.
Yeah, we can't have the Always Sunny theme and Colin. So.
The game tricks Jerry into watching the Twin Dilemma.
For no reason. And taking notes on it.
For God's sake. I had analysis and everything. Oh my God.
Literally, the only downside to this is that he will find a way to make me pay for this next week.
No, we won't.
Oh, you wait. I've got my pick next, you fuckers. So
I know.
I could drag you to hell with me.
But hopefully you won't.
Keep that in mind. But
Keep that in mind as
okay.
Keep that in mind as I'm trying to understand myself why I tried so hard.
Let's all calm down. Take a deep
Oh.
breath. Ha ha ha.
And the best part is you have absolutely no idea.
I know. These fucks are- Okay,
I'm having a great time.
calm down.
The worst part was having to hold my tongue for 2 whole weeks.
You sons of... I swear.
That's not actually a lie. I came up with this before we got to last week's. So
Oh,
just in the middle of the week. In the middle of the week.
Time.
I didn't think she was serious at first, but
Oh my.
No, I was very
God.
serious.
The moment it like clicked for me right before you did it, though. Jeez. Okay.
so the 2 doctors, it's better than Twin Dilemma.
Yeah, I do like this one. Like, I'm not bullshitting to kiss Colin Baker's ass here because he didn't think for Sontaran next man. It's pretty good.
Yeah, as special crossover stories go, it's not bad at all.
It's
Oh,
interesting.
I enjoyed it.
All right, let's switch gears. 2 doctors. So this is the next season, season 22. 3 45-minute episodes. And there's an interesting duality. A Doctor Who mirror alert, if you will. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, okay, I'll let you have that one because we just trolled the hell out of you, so you can have that one.
Yeah. In the Twin Dilemma is the show that seriously, one of the big reasons that seriously messed with the Colin Baker era. And the 2 doctors is when they announced the 18-month hiatus. So
Thematically, it was actually quite a good pairing then.
thematically, it worked, yes.
What a shame we didn't do the Twin Dilemma.
Yes, what a shame indeed. But let's talk about 2 doctors. Well, we've got 2 and 6. 2 and 6. Those are our 2
Yeah.
doctors.
The weirdest pairing I've ever seen.
Is this your first time seeing Patrick Troughton in action, Kat?
slightly. I remember seeing something with him before. But this is the first really in-depth one that I've had into him, and I like him. He's a nice guy.
Generally speaking, he's quite a well-regarded classic Doctor. He's a star in some absolute classics like Tomb of the Cybermen. His look isn't very complex.
No.
He's very sort of what you see is what you get kind of a Doctor.
It really
Plus,
is.
it kind of looks like the wardrobe department didn't try for him. Is the oversized coat where it looks like he's a child trying on daddy's coat with his tiny little hands poking out? Is that like a thing for him?
He's kind of like got a disheveled, boyish look.
Okay. Because it really did feel like that. Like he was wearing someone else's coat and it was too big on him and he had to like keep pulling up the sleeves in order to be able to do stuff.
One thing I absolutely love is how right at the start it's black and white and then it transitions into colour. That is a really, really nice touch.
That's cute.
That was nice. That was nice.
Yeah. And this is, well, we get to talk about a mouthful. This moment right here, along with some other bullshit from the story, is the birth of the Season 6B theory.
Oh boy.
And it all happened because Robert Holmes, the writer of this episode, didn't give a hot fuck about continuity.
Did he give a cold fuck?
It's
Because-
Doctor Who does.
Yeah.
Chris Chibnall?
Chris Chibnall and everyone else, apparently.
You say he didn't give a hot fuck. Did he give a cold fuck?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
So we
Well,
have...
to be fair,
so-
he apparently is a vegetarian, and I can see.
Oh,
lot of
that's
that in
all
this
over this.
episode.
That's all over this goddamn episode. That's like a running
Once
theme
we
here.
start getting into it, the fact that he's a vegetarian will make a lot more sense.
Yeah, that explains so much now I know about that.
This is almost like the Orphan 55
Oh
of
no.
vegetarianism.
No,
Yeah.
you did not get to bring that up.
Listen, you after what you did to me. Don't ask me.
I don't care, you did not get to bring Orphan 55 up.
Oh, I'm crying again. That's fantastic.
But to get over the Season 6B thing, we've got the second Doctor and his companion, Jamie. Their other companion, Victoria, is off-screen, like, doing graphology or something, just like...
Because they didn't offer her enough money.
they didn't offer enough money, or maybe she didn't want to do it.
And yeah, she did Dimensions in Time.
Who is that terrible woman?
Oh my god. Poor Deborah Wharton deserved better.
But the fact that the Doctor and Jamie know who the Time Lords are and they're their employ cuts with the end of the Second Doctor era, which is the debut of the Time Lords. So, wait, they shouldn't know who the Time Lords are. They shouldn't be doing stuff for the Time Lords. What's going on there? Better concoct an entire elaborate theory with tie-in novels and stuff to explain this continuity error.
Say it with me, it's a retcon.
It's a retcon. It's a retcon, and God knows how it plays with the timeless child.
Ah yes, that other Series 12 episode that everybody loves. Sarcasm.
At this point, I think the Doctor Who timeline is just so messed up and it involves time travel as well that we just kind of have to throw up our hands and say it's time travel.
Actually, it's funny because on Twitter today I saw the cover of an upcoming issue of Doctor Who magazine where I linked it in one of our chats, didn't I? What does it say? Timeless mysteries, making sense of Doctor Who's tangled continuity.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Look, when they're able to make sense of the Zelda timeline, then we'll be able to make sense of the Doctor Who timeline because that shit is still
So never.
bonkers.
So never.
No, come on, you don't get to bring up the Zola Talent and Orphan 55 in the same goddamn podcast. Come on now, that's just not right.
Ganondorf caused climate crisis?
Oh my god, Jerry, stop.
Honestly, at this point, I would not be surprised. Something was going on with the moon. There were two different timelines.
Oh yeah, the moon got hexed.
The moon got hit. Oh, you son of a bitch.
Yes.
Did y'all hear about that? The moon got hexed? This is Peter Harness' sequel.
Jeez, Jerry, that's to bring up everything that I hate in Doctor Who.
Well, thanks for getting Colin Baker to sass me.
That wasn't even me.
That was all me, to be fair. All of this was me. He was just my very willing accomplice.
Right, well, let's talk about the two doctors instead.
Oh wow, that's preferring the bus cat. Accomplice, thanks for that.
I
So,
said you were an accomplice. That's it. I did all those.
Yes, but you still go to jail for that.
I'm trying to talk about the show for you. I'm trying to help you.
Back to Jamie then, who's great.
Jamie's
And,
fantastic.
Jamie's lovely. He's a constant. He's in all but one of the Doctor stories, so he's like always.
Yeah, Jamie's a real fan favourite when it comes to classic era companions.
Jamie's great.
I can see why.
It's just a shame he doesn't get that much to do in the episodes.
Anyway, the episode is pretty. The episodes are pretty like leisurely paced, so that I didn't really have a lot to talk about in them. There's just a couple of little points. So the Time Lords have sent the second Doctor and Jamie here because these guys on their space station, they're playing around with time. And the Time Lords don't like that for some reason, which is odd.
Well, from what the second Doctor says is that they're very close to... Essentially, think of time as a fabric, and they have a pair of scissors that they're slowly poking into the fabric in order to be able to pass through it. Essentially, they're worried that they're going to start cutting instead of poking.
Rip a hole in the space-time continuum.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough justification. So, and the second Doctor's presence here, unofficially here, officially, so they can deny ever sending him, which does tie into the whole Black Ops agent shit that Season 6B likes to make the late era second Doctor do. And I guess now Chris Chibnall really liked that because he made a multitude of goddamn Doctors that we don't even know about do that kind of shit. So
yeah, so, you know.
Yeah.
Isn't this the one where we didn't see the Doctor turn into the third Doctor, or is it a different one?
No. We do not see the actual classic regeneration. The end of the war game. The end of the war games is just him spiraling off into oblivion, and then we start the third Doctor's first story, and the third Doctor falls out.
So there's at least a little bit of hand waving you could do here to make it work.
There's a gap. There's a gap that makes it like plausible. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, and that's why when the Fugitive Doctor first showed up, people thought, oh, it's a gap between second and 2 and 3.
Which I did find implausible at the time.
Not necessarily the 6B Doctor, but it could have been.
It does make me wonder why Chris Chibnall was watching the 6th Doctor's run when that's the least popular one when he was looking for ideas for his new arc. Just saying.
Because it's all just running about in corridors.
Yeah, pretty much.
I can't get over that goddamn quote.
Yeah, they land on this really actually interesting looking space station. It kind of reminds me of you know that big thing at the end of Enlightenment that was all shining in gold, but it had like several stacks of like pillars on it.
It's funny. Rainiac said the same thing to me.
Yeah, it's not just reminding you of Enlightenment; it is Enlightenment.
Oh, so
no. Enlightenment was the choice. Enlightenment wasn't.
It's literally the settlement from Enlightenment.
Oh, okay.
They've just taken the sparkly lights off of it. It's the same thing.
How do we
basically, they had the prop and they decided to reuse it.
They had the set, yes. They had the
it was
miniature.
It was only 2 years previous.
It was probably a miniature, and they just reused it.
Sounds about right.
This happens a lot in science fiction shows and action shows. Power Rangers was famous for it.
God.
There would literally be monsters that were just coupled together from other old monsters.
Let's be fair. Most of Power Rangers show is actually stolen, so...
Yeah, but one of the exclusive US monsters from Power Rangers is just a monster suit spray painted green.
That's about right. It's not stolen. But we should probably mention the androgums.
Oh boy! So I originally thought these were androids. They're not androgums.
No. Androga. Which, fun fact, the idea for them, they're obsessed with like food, and androgum is an anagram of gourmand.
Yeah.
Which
as a professional chef, I am actually offended by this. Not really, but apparently the androgums really like taking whatever makes them happy, essentially. So, in this case, it's food. In other cases, it might be other kinds of pleasure, like murdering or hitting things or whatever.
Yeah.
They're just basically very primitive, and they're very emotionally based.
It's ironic you say primitive because they're pretty disdainful of humanity. Just like, these primitive idiots, they don't know a goddamn thing.
Yeah, at one point, this character, whose name is Shock Guy, by the way, he's doing something to Jamie, and he says that the humans don't feel pain like they do. It's
He's
like,
actually, well, it's actually pretty grim. He's actually like tenderizing him like a steak.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a cannibal.
Yeah,
Shocker is a cannibal.
Well, he's not a cannibal because they're humans and he's not. But yeah, he wants
He's a carnivore.
he likes to eat meat, and he just sees humans as essentially as cattle, which is a little bit of hand-fisted, meat eaters are bad kind of thing.
I'm sorry, what you say he likes to eat meat? I'm just reminded of that joke from Freakazoid where Cosgrove is like, it's like, she divorced me because I want to eat a lot of meat. So you can be married and still eat a lot of meat. Oh yeah.
What?
But,
Freakazoid is the best.
It is.
He
But-
had the same size eyebrows as an androgram.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
he does. You can't see Cosgrove's eyes.
Yeah, can you tell this episode was written by a vegetarian?
It's really heavy-handed.
Now you've said that, I yeah, it makes all the sense
It's
in the world.
absolutely like a running theme thread. Just
Yeah.
the idea of
Shock
eating meat.
Guy basically takes a lot of time to just talk about how he likes to butcher things, he likes to try new meats. He's very into hunting a person down so he can try to taste it.
Is it ever explained
At
why he's
one
wearing
point-
full Scottish dress, though?
No, not really.
Because he doesn't seem to
But at one
recognise
point,
it.
And then there's the other androgram in the story, Cassini,
May I take this one?
who Mr. Baker praised earlier in the scene near the end of the
Yeah,
episode.
and with good reason. This is a very well-known science fiction actress. This is Jacqueline Pierce.
She was in Blake 7.
She was basically the best bit of Blade 7. She was Servalan, the long-running villainess.
Ooh, yeah, I can see how that would work.
So her being in Doctor Who is perfect, and her being in a big.
Also, it's wild because like I think it's either a story before or a story after. Time Lash has Paul Darrow from Blake 7.
Yeah, he's
as
in
the
Time Lash.
handiest motherfucker alive.
He's in Time Lash because he gets to say the line, "Save your breath for the Time Lash, Doctor."
Most apart with a scream.
And somehow he doesn't crack up during that scene.
I don't know how they do, but yeah, she's lovely and a very cold and calculating villainess.
Yeah,
Quite a
which is
great
perfect for
performance.
Cassini.
But
she's
Cassini
really good.
is an augmented androgram that the main scientist here, Destari, he's like done gene therapy or something. Make her more
We've
civilized.
got to talk about the
intelligent.
story because that outfit is just fabulous.
It's so 80s. I love those glasses.
You say fabulous, I say eyesore.
No.
Well-
I'm deliberately using that word.
Well, Kat, consider
He's just
consider what-
fabulous.
Consider what the generous Mr. Baker is wearing, and he doesn't.
Excuse
look so bad.
you, but what is wrong with Colin Baker later on in this very serial wearing what is essentially a Hawaiian print vest?
I actually like
that-
the waistcoat. I actually like the waistcoat.
I was talking about the actual coat, the big coat, not the waist.
That
The
is a national treasure, and you need to leave it alone.
Yeah. I
But
think,
as soon as I saw him walk out in that vest, waistcoat, whatever, I cracked up.
I think it's
Oh,
okay to dunk on the coat a little bit because even Colin Baker does not like the coat.
Exactly. You go.
There's a I think it's a DVD added bonus where they CGI in his coat and it's just like a blue coat and a tie,
Big Finish has canonized blue.
and he loves it. He says, "Oh, that would have been the
Maybe
look. That's
he'll be-
fantastic."
Maybe he'll be wearing the blue coat in his Big Finish story he recorded that he told us about.
I can't believe he
Maybe.
revealed that.
Oh my.
We are in such trouble when this gets uploaded.
Nicholas Briggs is gonna sue the shit out of this.
No, Nobody's gonna sue us. They're gonna send us a takedown. We'll take it out of the episode. We'll put the
Don't
episode
worry.
back up without it in there, and then we'll just
if
put
you're
it in
hearing this, Nicholas
the.
Briggs, firstly, how you doing? Love the work you do. Secondly, would you like to be a guest on the
Hire us
podcast?
as writers.
Hey, Nicholas Briggs, is this you?
You would make a good Dalek.
Oh.
We're gonna piss
DMCA.
so many people off.
It's fun to stay at the DMCA.
So we
We're
were
all
talking
going
about
to jail for YouTube crimes.
So before this, we were talking about Cassini as augmented android. Basically, all the passionate fury that Shakai has been bred out of her. And
Yeah.
And the second Doctor is basically aghast at this, which feels a little weird.
Yes. He talks about this to gay Ian McDermott, and he's appalled.
What?
He looks a bit like a gay Ian McDermott to story.
I'm sorry. What?
He does.
Oh my god!
There's nothing wrong with that, but
I'm not saying it. That statement just took me off guard.
if Palpatine was into pink,
And now, Lord Vader, I sense we need more pink.
And now, Lord Vader, we wear pink on Wednesdays.
hi Disney, how you doing?
Put on your pink tie now. Do it.
hey Disney, would you like to be a guest of the podcast?
I was thinking he looked more like a tall male Edna Mode from The Incredibles, but that works too.
Oh, jeez.
Just
So,
for legal reasons, Disney, we are sorry. Nicholas Briggs, the check's in the mail.
Disney's fine. Disney's fine.
Yeah, Kat, this is Disney we're talking about.
Yeah, but as long as we don't show any of their images.
This is
they
the
don't really give a shit.
corporation that put their workers back in the middle of the pandemic.
Well, to be fair, this is also the corporation that completely changed the United States copyright laws. So, if anybody's interested in that, you should look it up. It's actually really interesting. Basically,
what? Mickey Mouse Claus?
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They changed the entirety
anyway.
of U.S. copyright when it comes to media. It's very interesting. Go look it up.
Back to,
Anyway, Doctor Who.
Hey, Ian McDermott, as you were saying.
I'm so sorry about that. Dastari. Yeah, they have a conversation that the Doctor's horrified that he's done this. What is it he says? Like, she's an androgum. Oh, yeah. The thing about it's like giving a monkey a banana or something.
It's like giving a monkey a brain because they'll fill the world with bananas. Something like that.
Oh, yeah, give a monkey a brain and they'll fill the world with bananas. Which is
Which
a really weird
makes
statement
a
in
little bit of
itself.
sense.
That is
That
a
does
weird
make
statement in
sense
itself.
that he would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, some stuff goes down on the spaceship.
And this is something you weren't expecting.
No,
It's my favorite! I had no idea! It's the Sontarans! We got potatoes!
potatoes in outer space.
Once again, Colin Baker's fighting against vegetable people.
Oh no!
I'm going to bring the mood down somewhat.
Oh no.
I know that you like the Sontarans,
Oh no.
and they're a classic villain, and the fact that they're in this, you know.
Oh no, did the Sontarans say something racist?
No, that's no. What? No.
Oh god, they're transphobic?
General Star says trans rights, motherfucker. No,
Look, my heart's already been broken so many times. Don't break it now.
I was just going to point out that they were done so much better in the modern era, but they're good here.
Yes, they were.
I mean, they're a monster that was brought down by a sun lounger, so.
They're
I do like his
much
little
of
magic
anything.
wand weapon thing, though. They should bring that back.
Oh, they haven't had. They've had that in the classic show before.
Yeah, they've had that in the classic show. I mean, the modern era. They just had blasters.
Yeah, so the Sontarans, they're not used very well in this story, I don't think.
they're not, but it does lead to a hilarious moment towards the end.
Oh,
No, yeah, they were
that's
just kind
the
of
best.
there, essentially.
Basically, their role in this plan is kill everyone on the space station.
I will forgive their inclusion for that moment.
Well, we'll get to that. But they are kind of wheeled out just because it does feel like they're wheeled in just because, hey, look, here's a recognizable monster from your childhood. Remember when you were 8 and you watched The Time Warrior? Well, here they are.
Plus, to be fair, of the Doctor's most recognizable villains that weren't one-offs, they're probably the least likely to just shoot everybody on sight instead of coming up with a plan, so...
That's
Yeah.
true. But they don't really do much in this episode beyond, like, yell at the Starry and the other villains for taking too much time doing their evil plan, and then they get blown up.
Well, we don't know that the story is a villain at this stage, actually.
No, at this stage, no.
He is drugged. They do
And
give
then
it away far too easily, actually, but he is drugged at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Then Jamie and the Doctor are separated.
And then the Sontarans attack.
Chesini kills a technician, the Sontarans invade, all hell breaks loose. Off camera.
And we cut to Colin Baker fishing.
Yeah.
Yay!
He's a pescatarian. Look it up.
It is the weirdest segue I have ever seen, because in between scenes of, the horror that's happening on this spaceship and Jamie nearly being eaten by a guy, we have just the Doctor going around fishing and lounging. We have his companion just sunbathing.
It's a pretty funny scene, actually, because he's fishing for this alien fish, and he's like, oh, I got a bite, ooh, big one, it's a big one, and it's this little 1-inch fish.
And Perry sasses him about it.
Okay, I didn't get to bring this up because you hoodwinked me. The best part of Twin Dilemma is Perry unabashedly sassing the Doctor on his bullshit, and it's present here too.
The Sixth Doctor era gets a lot of flack, but Perry is wonderful.
I could have done a whole thing, but y'all had to hoodwink me, so we'll wait.
I will say, I might be getting the wrong impression of her, but she feels a little bit like a dumb blonde who dyed her hair.
Maybe.
Where she's just very, she just went, I don't know a whole lot in this episode.
She's a botanist, but they don't actually remember this in the plot at all.
It's too bad they didn't swap around the stories. Huh. Then maybe she could have done something.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, after getting sassed for his fishing, there's this really weird moment where the Doctor sort of feels something happening.
This is bullshit, frankly.
I thought it was actually pretty funny because the Doctor's just like standing on the TARDIS, and then he feels something, and then he just like face plants.
Oh yeah, okay, that's funny, but I mean the entire narrative arc of this is bullshit. The implication is, oh no, the second Doctor is getting attacked in the past, and therefore the ripple effect means the Sixth Doctor's feeling it now. But as we find out, that's not really the case.
No, it goes even worse than that. He thinks he's dead in the past.
Oh yeah,
and he might not exist anymore.
Yeah, which that doesn't come in. It doesn't come in.
Yeah, really, all of that was just for the audience. To be fair,
it's our in to the.
Anyway, because this episode is 45 minutes long, I'll have to skim ahead a little bit. So, Perry,
I just want to mention one thing.
Go ahead.
I just want to mention one thing because this basically gets them to. But it's a real funny scene where the Doctor's like going through a card thing, and he's just going through the names. I'm gonna get the transcript. This moment just made me laugh my ass off that they went for it. Okay, where are we? Doctor Who transcripts. He's like, now then, Archimedes, fascinating chap, Bidweb, Prunell, Christopher Columbus. He had a lot to answer for.
Oh my god.
He still has a lot to answer for.
Oh my god, I can't believe they went there.
It is the year of Lord 2020, and that's the episode we choose to watch this week. Oh my god, we've done it again.
Fucking Columbus. Even Colin Baker has shit to say about Columbus. But anyway, that gets us to the spaceship, the space station. And I really like the mood on the space station. Like, dilapidated, all the food rotting.
Yeah.
It's been quite some time since the attack. It's been days or so.
Yeah, that does make me question it a little bit, but the
The
doctor kind
timing's
of
a bit
hand waves
off,
it
but
away.
it does make for good atmosphere.
There are no bodies on the spaceship, but it's made pretty clear that everyone is dead.
I mean, Perry finds like a bloody shirt. Yeah.
Oh no, not a bloody shirt.
Yeah, she finds a dead body who, yeah.
The horror.
And
But
the
basically,
computer,
the entire space station decides to go HAL 9000 on them and tries to kill them.
Yeah, it tries to suck them out into space.
tries to depressurize them. It tries to boil them. There's also death traps.
Yeah. And again, I like Colin Baker's reactions to all this bit. It's like having tried unsuccessfully to freeze us, he's now trying to boil us.
He's just so leisurely about a computer's trying to kill him. Big whoop. Who cares?
How will he protect his silicon soul?
But it's good. It takes its time because it's 5 minutes. But it's good. I dig it. I didn't have much on my notes about it.
Pretty much, they're just running around the spaceship. The doctor thinks of a way to disarm the spaceship. They go to do that, and then Perry's attacked by some sort of humanoid form. It's a little bit obvious exactly what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's the cliffhanger.
Before that, we do get some establishing stuff with the villains who have landed in Spain.
The entire production crew gets to take a 2-week holiday to Spain. Yay!
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much once we get into part 3, it feels a lot like that old Adam Sandler trick where it's like, hey, I want to go on vacation, but I don't have the money to do so. Let's just film a movie there, so then we get essentially a free vacation.
Tax break for everybody! Yay!
I'm not kidding, by the way. Adam Sandler actually did that.
I know.
We also do get the introduction to 2 wonderful characters who, having come off this watching Twitter, unlike some people, I found to be kind of mirrors of the Doctor and Perry. Like, Oscar and Anita. Oscar is just this big, theatrical, overacting fop of a guy. And Anita's just like, oh, come on, don't be such a wuss.
Oscar is a giant slice of ham.
He is.
I like him, but he's a giant slice of ham.
Yeah. Both he and Colin Baker
just like
are
a ham, he's about to get roasted.
Oh, well, not quite yet. Not quite yet. But yeah, there's your other Doctor.
Yeah, and he's catching moths in with a cyanide jar. That will not be remotely important later on.
Yeah, he got it from Ensign Chekhov. He borrowed it.
Nice.
But yeah, as you said, peril in the air ventilation of the spaceship station. I keep calling it the spaceship station, but a space something or other. Perry gets attacked, and the Doctor gets a stream of poison gas in his face. Roll cliffhanger. Dun, dun, dun.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate the pratfall that Colin Baker does here?
Yes. Oh my gosh,
so
that's amazing.
He gets gassed in the face.
Mhm.
His entire body goes limp, and he somehow catches himself on these cables.
And then he just sort of hangs there like that old motivational poster of the cat hanging onto the branch.
That must have taken more than one take, I would think. If that was done in one take, fair play. Because that looks really difficult to set up properly.
It does.
Also, while this is going on, the villains they're in Spain. They've made their base of operations a Spanish villa. They kill the elderly owner of the villa. Cassini absorbs her mind, which don't think about it too much. It's horrific. And the Sontaran that is already in this villainous crew is Val. and he mentions that his superior, Stike, I think it's Grand Marshal Stike, is coming to Earth. He comes to Earth via the medium of a giant silver orb with a net on it for some reason.
Well, it's a pattern. It's not a net.
They're here to catch specific Pokemon, and they need a netball to do it. So let's move on.
I have 6 Magikarp. I do not need any more Magikarp. Thank you very much.
But while this is going on,
Why is it, by the way, in every Pokemon game there is a trainer with 6 Magikarp?
oh god almighty! So while this is going on, up on the space station, we get revealed that the weird guy who attacked Perry was Jamie.
Yep.
A little bit obvious.
And through, like, drugging him, waving the jewel in front of his face to calm him down, they find out that his doctor, the second doctor, died. Oh no! Colin Baker could be outside of, like, time thanks to the time experiments. He could be a walking paradox. The universe could implode. Oh no, he's
not. It's not going to happen.
It does lead
we all know it's not going to happen.
Like where the doctor's like, "Oh no, the universe is going to decay and rot." How long, Doctor? Not long at all. Very few centuries.
Yeah.
And Perry's just like, "Oh, okay, well we're fine then."
Perry's relieved.
He does have a nice little monologue about the end of the universe, which I really shouldn't have. I gotta find that.
Okay, you find that.
I'll just say for universe 5. No. There we go.
We should also point out that Perry, to get the attacker off her, actually knocks him out. She does a very good job of defending herself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she actually does.
She just gets her leg and levers him into the wall. Or a pipe or something.
To be fair, though, all the food was rotting, so I'm sure Jamie was probably half starved.
Yeah, but still, she's not a damsel in distress for this scene. I like that.
Yeah,
she will be later.
Oh yeah, she will, but she gets herself out of the predicament.
I found the line.
She doesn't wait for the doctor to get her out of the predicament like some companions might.
If you don't mind.
Go ahead.
She can't comprehend the scale of the eternal blackness. No more sunsets, no more gumblejacks, never more butterfly. And it's at this point that Colin Baker turns and sees that Perry is being tortured.
Yeah.
Twice. And this is what Jamie saw. He saw the second doctor in this, like, trick device that I guess the story had made up to make people think that he killed the second doctor. So
well, we don't know it's the story at this point. The doctor thinks it's the Sontarans.
I'm pretty sure we know now.
But then he thinks, hang on a minute, the Sontarans don't have that kind of technology.
Anyway, you want to know, hey, you know how this machine works? Hey, Rainiac, where do they get the images of the people to put them in the little torture chamber thing?
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. There's a sensor on board the ship which takes someone's image.
Where's the sensor located, Rainiac?
The sensor is located inside a mirror.
Doctor Who, mirror alert!
I deserve this.
Torture chamber mirror machine. Is there anything more apt for you, Rainiac?
Well, now you bring it up.
By this point, we still don't know that Dastari had been in on it the whole time.
We kind of do, and it's a mistake, because I think it's either at the beginning of part 2 or the end of part 1, we notice
Dragon 2
we notice Shokai and Val walking with a figure. But they're also accompanied by Dastari. They give away the twist before they want to give away the twist.
At one point, the Doctor theorizes that they kidnapped him. So I think the idea is that we were supposed to think he was kidnapped.
But he wasn't in chains. He was walking with them. I think he was carrying something with them.
He was carrying.
If a bunch of Sontarans is pointing their magic wand at you and they say carry this, would you do it?
Oh, that's right. He was carrying the magical MacGuffin.
Yeah. Oh boy.
That's quite the MacGuffin. Is that MacGuffin?
Either way.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dastari's plan is at this point pretty much revealed because he's talking to the second Doctor who they have kidnapped. their plan is that their time travel needs the power of a Time Lord's symbiotic nuclei, which I guess are biological thingies in your cells.
Essentially, they biologically connect to their TARDISes, and by doing so, that's what makes the TARDIS actually work.
Well, thanks, Robert
they need
Holmes,
to
for
get
making
that.
it. Thanks, Robert Holmes, for retconning that Clara can't bend.
Yeah.
Essentially, the symbiotic nuclei is the midichlorians.
Oh God!
They over-explain it to a point where we didn't need it.
That's the story of the '80s, Doctor Who. Oh, but there is one moment I need you to gif. I'll get you the time. I'll get you the timestamp.
Okay.
Done,
okay.
The Doctor. So for clarification here, the Doctor has the Sixth Doctor, because there's two. The Sixth Doctor has gotten into mental telepathic contact with the Second, just to try and figure out where he is and where they can go. So he figures out he heard the bells of Seville in Spain, so now he knows that's where they're at. And he says something smug while they're in the TARDIS. I don't know. Hang on. I don't know what he exactly says. Oh, there it is. To Perry. I've got the quote here. Perry asks how he knows the bells, and he's like, "How else will I know the Santa Maria one?" Oh, do you try and use your brain? My small though it is, the human brain can be quite effective when used properly. And this made me lose my shit. He just pats her on the head, and the next shot is Perry, and she mouths something to him silently, and I swear it either looks like asshole or fuck you.
What's the bit?
I need to gif of that.
What's the bit you want?
Right,
you want gift? The head pat or her mouthing?
Oh,
her
both
mouthing.
if you can. But mouthing would be more funny.
We able to find it?
Yeah, I'll find it later. Right.
We'll find it. No.
If not, I'll make it. It's easy.
Not a problem. Yeah, that is a good moment.
So they arrive in Spain, and this is, as you said, Colin Baker's vacation outfit, Spain countryside outfit,
and I like it.
It's cute.
I actually like it. I'm not.
It's really funny.
I don't mind the waistcoat at all. If he'd chosen to maybe stay in the waistcoat for a bit, I'd have been all right with that.
Well, it's not that gets me. I mean, the waistcoat itself is hilarious. It's the fact that Oscar and his friend Anita. Oscar and Anita are the ones who were hunting moss. They saw the Sontaran plane land, and they're running around trying to essentially, Anita wants to go and help who is ever at the hacienda because she thinks that they were involved in a plane crash. And Oscar's like, I don't do entrails and blood and all that, so let's not. And at one point, they see the TARDIS materialize, and they're like, oh, it's a police box, and there's a joke about Interpol or whatever. And they go over there, and as soon as Colin Baker steps out, Oscar's like, officer! It's like, you think he's an officer dressed like that?
They make fun
Perry
of it. They say
comes out in what she's wearing.
He claims that he and Perry are from the plain clothes division, which cracked me up.
Oh God!
So plainclothes
nothing
police.
plain about that waistcoat.
Plainclothes police are a real thing. That's an
yeah.
actual term. It's undercover. It's police officers that are not in uniform or undercover, and they're trying to blend in. He's not blending in with that waistcoat at all, but
no,
it's an actual term.
And this is where we get, and yeah, we know he's a villain at this point. Dastari's plan, as it is. They've got incomplete time travel thanks to their experiments on their space station, but they need symbiotic nuclei to make it work. So they're going to extract it from the Second Doctor. So Dastari's going to give Cassini the power of time travel, and in return for the Sontarans, I guess, killing everyone on the space station so they get away, they'll give the Sontarans time travel so they can win their wars and whatnot.
And we
That's
already
the
know that
arrangement
that's
they
not
have.
going to happen. We already know that.
It's not going to happen.
It's kind
Everyone
of
here
obvious.
basically wants to double cross each other. They don't give a shit. So
Really
why
obvious.
the Starian Co needed Sontarans other than their getaway is not really explained or touched upon.
I think it's basically implied, although not stated outright, that Cassini wanted a blunt instrument.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you don't get much blunter than Sontarans.
From what
Basically.
I can basically think is Dastari wanted... Essentially, Dastari did not want to do his own dirty work with killing everybody and making it look like an attack by the Time Lords, which that was a slight plot point which never came to anything.
Yeah,
They tried to blame it on the Time Lords.
just a mystery and misdirect to
Yeah. But I think basically he wanted someone to do the dirty work, but he didn't want the Androgons to do it because obviously reasons. They're kind of,
Well, he detests
assholes as
Shockeye. He's
well.
repulsed by Shockeye's primitive nature.
Yeah.
But Cassini
So
is
obviously he wouldn't want that to happen either.
Cassini is his creation.
And Shaka is doing fucked up things all around. Like he's down in the wine cellar taking a rat, and he's just going
He's
at
cracking
it.
it open with his bare hands. He's eating its insides, and
Please don't remind me of that. I still like rats. Pets.
Oh,
Ugh.
rats
I'm
are
sorry,
adorable.
but
Ugh.
yeah, he is
Monster.
a brute. He is an absolute brute. Shockeye.
Shaka's
Yeah.
fucking
Primitive
gross.
Neanderthal brute.
Which
And
again,
he's proud
I
of
say,
it.
Which is ironic because he considers humanity.
Yes, he does. It's almost like
So,
that's the
yeah.
point.
In fact, at one point he finds it weird that we don't eat each other. So
Yeah.
Hey,
Ugh.
did you wonder if the writer of this episode has something to say about consuming meat?
Possibly.
wow, I would never have expected that.
So
I'm
while the villains are making
shocked.
plans to betray each other,
As you do.
suddenly, yet inevitably, the
So-
Doctor is
oh,
trying
yeah.
to get into the house. His
But
grand plan...
Sixth Doctor is trying to get.
Six is trying to get into the house. His grand plan is for Perry to impersonate an American student and just waltz straight into the house.
Oh, before that, I do want to mention there's another scene where I think it's when Stike gets there, 2 has a bit of a scene with him, where it's basically sassing, and Stike just straight up pimp slaps 2
Yes.
for impugning his honor. And 2 is like, I challenge you to... you can't impugn my honor because you're not a Sontaran. And 2 is just like, well, that didn't work, now did it?
Yeah.
Poor 2. Patrick Troughton's lovely, but he spends the majority of this episode either like tied up or, well, we'll get to that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we will.
That is an interesting way to pad out the episode. But as you say, Perry goes to the house.
Yeah.
Well,
You were right.
I wanted to ask something, by the way. How old was Patrick Troughton by this episode?
He would die a few years later.
Died 2 years later, but he was. I'd say it was like late 50s, early 60s. Say, let me just
What
look
did he
up.
die of? Was it just like
Heart
is he
attack.
ill?
Heart attack.
Heart attack. I think that may be the reason why he was laying down
65.
a lot in this.
65. He would.
Yeah.
he would've been
So
like
he wouldn't be able to do
64.
much action, would he?
Yeah,
At
I think
65.
that may be why.
That's
Yeah,
fair
okay,
enough. That's fair
That
enough.
explains. Yeah, but I mean, he didn't have to do too much.
Anyway, Perry infiltrates the house briefly. It actually
It's
seems to
funny.
work, but then Cassini is like, well, I'm suspicious of her because I read her mind and she keeps thinking about the Doctor. So they
It's
actually wheel out 2 in the chair. She doesn't recognise him at all, and this is not a lie, this is genuine because she's never seen him before.
Which I found cute.
She therefore makes her excuses and leaves. And then
But,
Shockeye
yeah.
goes after her.
Well, yeah, Chesney is still like, hey, why don't you follow Shockeye here into the kitchen? He would love to show you that area. And Perry's just like, nope, runs.
No. And Shaka's like, wait a minute, yeah, I'm gonna go get her.
Yeah, and I don't like this cliffhanger.
Hey, remember when you said that Perry Peril?
Yeah. So about that was a lie.
This is shot like this is like I was like when I got to this part. Am I watching the end of a Doctor Who, or did I throw on fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
It's what he says though when he's about to pick her up. It's like, oh
Come
god.
here, my pretty.
Oh
well, at least I'm
god.
not the only one who thought of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Stranger danger. Just say no.
God.
Oh crap! And at one point, he does actually bring out a mini chainsaw.
Oh
Yes.
Jesus Christ! Shotguy's just creepy. And
Let's just move on from Shockeye.
oh, there is one other thing in the because I wrote it off as a bit of dumbassery, but it's actually brilliant. Doctor and Jamie have infiltrated, and they're in the basement looking for two, but they can't find him because they brought him up to do that Perry thing. And he's looking at their time machine, and he's loudly positive about how, the time machine's almost ready, but they can't work it without priming the Bryode nebulizer. And Stike is right behind him, and he's like, "Thank you for telling me how to operate it, Doctor. You
It's
dumbass."
like, aha!
He mentions the Rassilon imprimatur.
Yeah. Which you could buy as technical. You wouldn't then.
Yeah, it is a haha moment. That part of the cliffhanger I like. Shockeye about to eat Perry, I don't like.
Yeah, that's really.
But
creepy.
the resolution to the other part of the cliffhanger here is they make Sixth Doctor go activate the time machine, activate the Bride or whatnot, and he's got Jamie hostage, and he's like, "Good, thank you. Now I'm going to kill your companion." And Jamie just pulls out a knife and stabs the guy in the leg.
Yeah.
Yes, Jamie is the best companion.
So part 3 is where the brown stuff really hits the fan. Both for the plot in general and for the Sontarans.
Oh man! But there is a lovely moment once Six and Jamie get away. They finally, in the third part of the story called The Two Doctors, have two of the Doctors on screen.
Yeah.
Together.
About damn time.
And it lasts for about a minute, but you should gift that moment too, because it's actually pretty good. The look they give each other, just like Colin Baker's just like, "Oh, for God's sakes, you got into it again, didn't you?"
And the second doctor's like, "Fuck are you wearing?" I'm an idiot.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But this does.
I am very surprised they didn't include that in. Just him going, "What the hell are you wearing?"
Well, I mean, he didn't see the coat. He just saw.
I still would have questioned that waistcoat.
Anyway, Shockeye comes back in with Perry over his shoulder unconscious. So everyone has to scatter.
Isn't creepy or anything.
Two pretends to be asleep in his chair.
Yeah, so this moment with the two doctors on screen interacting lasts about a minute.
Yep.
Hope you liked it. But this leads to one of the more gonzo plot points. Cassini wants Testari to use his gene therapy to turn 2 into an androgum.
And this is the definition of filler. This is the definition of we need to fill an extra 20 minutes. Let's just do this. Because this
is the definition of we need to give the second Doctor something to do, so let's just put some eye makeup on him.
It's so gonzo and weird.
But this makes no sense.
I'm kind of here for it. It's dumb, but I'm
not.
It's my brand of dumb shit.
Yeah.
You know.
I understand that. So they say, right, Chessie says to Testari, I want you to take Shockeye. She knocks him out. And then Testari removes his genetic material. I'm checking my notes here. And implants it in the Doctor.
Yep.
And the Doctor turns into an androgum.
Well, only for an hour, because they have to stabilize his genes within that hour, or else he'll turn back.
Complete with giant eyebrows, might I add.
And the weird forehead warts.
Yes.
Ugh.
So he's been left to for the process to work on him. I think he's about 50% androgyne at this point, 50% doctor. Meanwhile, Sontarans say the silliest things. They're plotting to betray the other villains again. They say, right, we will kill everybody. There will be no survivors in this villa. As soon as High Command's been notified, Val, set the self-destruct mechanism on our battleship.
Big brain move there.
Yeah, galaxy brain move by the Sontarans.
But speaking of galaxy brain moves, Colin Baker's the moment I mentioned earlier, the part 2 thing, is actually a work of genius because the whole Bryo nebulizer thing, he was making bullshit up because he knew the Sontarans were right behind him, so he said it to Jamie so that they would believe he was telling the truth.
Well, he was telling the truth, but what they don't know is he took the nebulizer when they weren't looking.
Yeah.
So that bit is true.
Actually a bit of like loud exposition. Oh, the 6th Doctor don't know his mouth shut. Oh, well, that was actually really clever.
And then we get to my favourite moment of the entire story.
Oh my god! Are we getting the 2 and Shakai's fine dining adventure?
No, that's not my favourite moment of the story. I'm talking about Grand Marshal Stark's bad day.
Oh my god! Okay, yes.
So he's already been stabbed in the leg at this point.
Yep.
Cassini takes the story to one side and says, well, the Sontarans are obviously going to kill us when they've got what they want. So let's betray them before they can betray us.
Yep.
And he says, well, what can we do against Sontarans? He says, well, they're weak to chloronic acid. Now, I had to mention this. Is this mentioned in previous stories?
I have no idea.
Right. And Destina's like, where are we going to get chloronic acid? And she's like, well, I brought some with us.
Chesney does not know. Chesney doesn't know by this point that the time machine is working. It's only the Sontarans that know that it is. They still think that they need the Doctor for it to work.
Yeah. So, Cassini says, Destroy says to Cassini, oh, where are we going to get chloronic acid from? She says, well, I brought some with me, as you do.
As you do.
So they lure the 2 Sontarans into the cellar, and this is the bit that makes me laugh. She drops in the acid and closes the hatch behind them, and despite the acid not touching the 2 Sontarans at all,
it's basically just like sparkle.
Vom is just destroyed.
What do you call those little like sparkle things? You know, it's like you hold them in your hand and they spark.
Sparklers.
Yeah, sparklers. It's just a very big one of those.
The acid does not touch Vol in any way, shape, or form, but it just kills him outright.
He's just like,
I'm sorry, but that's just funny to me. What do you call those sparkly things you hold in your hand?
Sparklers.
What do you call that metal thing you used to eat food with? It's got forks on it.
Stike fares a little better.
Oh, well, now.
He's injured by the acid, but not killed outright. And can I just say, they do a fantastic job with the acid damage on his costume.
Oh, it's great.
That's a really nice touch.
Yeah, we should focus on Stike because
So Stike, his day's about to go from bad to worse. So he's been stabbed in the leg.
You're talking about.
He's been stabbed in the leg. He's been stabbed in the leg. He's been attacked with acid. His companion has just been killed right in front of him. So he's like, right, I'm going to get in the time machine.
At least I have the time machine.
At least I have the time machine. He gets inside the time machine, and that hurts him even worse.
Because the Doctor sabotage. So now he's really melting.
He falls out of it all smoking and melting. He's like, well, I've got to get out to my ship and get out of here. Oh, wait, didn't Volt set destruct? Boom!
They set the self-destruct!
And that's the end of Sontarans. That's
a series of unfortunate events by Grand Marshal Stike.
Okay.
It's like the story of Rasputin where they shot him and then tried to drown him. It's like, this poor guy is having just the worst day.
Oh my god. It's
the best day ever. Nope.
This is the best like villain death. But we should talk about 2 and Shakai's fine done.
If we must.
So 2 has been turned into an androgum, and now he can't stop thinking about all the tasty goddamn food and fine dining Seville has to offer. So he and Shakai go upstairs, put on goddamn tuxedos and top hats, and go to walk to Seville. They hitch a ride, beat the truck. Shakai beats the truck driver to death, and the 2 steals the truck and they drive off to Seville. And now it's a race against time because Cassini and Dastari want to get 2 and Shakai back to stabilize them. And the Doctor and Co. want to get 2 back to save him. And now, unlike the times where it was like, oh, the second Doctor's totally dead, the ripple effect will catch up. Now the ripple effect of 2 becoming an androgen actually is starting to affect 6.
Yeah.
Which is fucked up in a lot of ways. Like, he sees a cat and he's good, yummy, pretty kitty. He's like, oh, wait, shit, fuck, what am I doing?
And I'm sorry, but before this, so essentially this is a Scooby-Doo moment where they're running all over Seville. I'm sure that they closed off maybe 3 streets for this. Who knows? But
Probably.
they're running all over, and then we cut to a scene where Chesney and Dastari are just sitting in a horse-drawn carriage, being ferried around the city.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's like, you really just wanted to come to Spain for a holiday, didn't you?
Oh my god. So,
Jeez.
as it happens, 2 and Shakai decide to go to the restaurant that is being run by Oscar and Anita.
Yeah.
Hey!
Did you forget about them?
Well, here they are again. It's not going well.
Yeah, did
Basically,
you guys forget
Team
about them?
Shakai did.
Because I did, and I honestly did not recognize them.
They order a gigantic amount of food.
They order all the food.
All the
like
food.
81,000 pesadas. Hang on. I'm going to do a little bit of conversion.
81,600 pesetas, yes.
We're going to do USD to pesadas. Okay. Wait now. How much is a pesada worth?
Well, it's not worth anything
No.
now because it's different currency, but
Let's see. Okay, here we go. 81,000.
600.
Okay, hang on. 600?
81,600 is the amount of they spend.
That's a lot of food. Well,
That
to
is
be
a
fair,
lot.
they did have stuff like lobster and steak and oysters. So that makes a little bit of sense.
Oh my god. That is 560 US dollars as of now. Like the exchange rates in 1980.
Yeah, it would have been a lot more in those days.
Yeah. So
Wait, no,
so,
86? 86?
Yeah, 85, 86.
That was post decimalization. Okay, no.
But okay, like $600 worth of food, and they're still eating,
Yeah.
which doesn't end well. Oscar, it's a funny thing. Oscar insists on the check. The Shakai tries to give him alien money, and he's very like theatrical and glib about it. And then Shakai stabs him in the chest.
This goddamn story in part 3 just
Yeah.
gets super hardcore. We have stabbings. We have acidic death. We
Time
have
machine
a spaceship
melting.
blowing up.
Explosions. Oh fuck. Oh, I mentioned them regarding the explosion later.
Yeah, good
But,
God,
yeah,
yes.
Oscar, he has a big theatrical death scene because he gets stabbed just as Six, Perry, and Jamie
As
arrive.
fits him being a giant ham.
Oh, he's a ham. He's just
Well,
like...
to be fair, he's an actor, so at least there's an in-universe
He's
reason
here
for him
dying,
being
and
a
he's
ham.
quoting Hamlet. It's just like, to sleep, chance to dream.
Yeah. So poor Anita is just distraught at this point. They leave her to her grief.
Luckily, 2's gene therapy reverts at this point, so he's back
Yes.
to normal. Unluckily, they're all captured by Starry
Yeah.
and brought back to Lula,
And Chissini.
Wah,
Yeah.
wah.
which it's wild because once they get back, Shot Guy's still talking about food, and he's like, "Oh, there's a bit of a mess around here. Stike, well, I found this," and he pulls up Stike's
Just
fucking.
the leg.
Yes, I found this in the grounds,
Oh my god!
and then just puts it on a chair.
I will
sequel
say
edition-
this is a little bit morbid, but I half expected him to just start slowly making its way towards his mouth, and then he gets stopped and he puts it back down.
Oh my god, that would.
I really expected him to start snacking on that leg.
Anyway, despite the fact that this should be the climax, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, the episode ends, there's still a fair bit to go.
There is, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Chesini wants the Doctor to prime the time machine. He says, "I've already done it for Stike." So Chesini, thinking quite intelligently, puts Perry in the machine, and they send her on a trip.
And it works.
Yeah, she survives the journey. So now Chesini's like,
So-
right, we don't need you anymore. So
Lock him up
Jamie is given to Shock Eye
for food.
to be tenderized.
Mhm.
The doctors, and Perry are to be locked in the cell while they decide what to do with them. And from here, all hell just breaks loose. So,
Starting with Slick Key getting.
yeah, this is quite a nice trick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
the
just
key
pulling
is
the
on
wheelchair.
the key is on a table, I think,
Yep.
Yeah.
next to a wheelchair. The wheelchair.
Essentially, they put all the tools that the doctors would need within leg reach.
Yeah, smart.
Good.
Uh,
Smart move. So they wheel the wheelchair. So Perry gets the wheelchair with her feet. The doctor grabs it and moves it to the keys. Knocks the keys in. Knocks the keys in.
it's a bit like
Kicks
the
them
old
to-
board game Mousetrap,
Okay.
where one thing
So
sets up another
lets him
thing.
get free. And then he goes up to save Jamie, which leads to a chase with Shockeye where he would get a cut on his leg.
Yeah, Shotgun just full out stabs the doctor in the leg.
So he's
Yeah.
running away, he's limping, he's bleeding all over the place. And this leads to the moment that Mr. Baker praised in Cat's surprise for me. And to be fair, it's a really good moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's hammering in the whole theme of the scene, the story about the Androgums. Shockeye's going after the doctor, who's leaving a blood trail. But Chesini sees the blood, and despite her better instincts, she...
Well, let's be fair to Chesini. During this whole time, during all three of the episodes, she's been essentially fighting her inheritance, where sometimes she is smart, other times she was, especially when she's with Shockeye and he starts talking about food, she gets really into it. So essentially she's very dual here.
Mhm.
So she has
And
the
this
one
is
half
where-
that wants her to be the androgum, the other half wants to be civilized, and she's just having trouble dealing with that.
Anyway,
Well-
Androgum half wins out here, and she just down and rubs her hand.
yeah.
Mm.
You have to remember, Chesini is essentially Frankenstein's monster.
There's a cut of the story where he's... Ugh.
Yeah, he's disgusted by this behavior.
I kind of thought of the movie My Fair Lady, if you guys have ever seen that.
Yeah,
Okay, I can see where you're coming from.
Or for a more modern take, sort of a Pretty Woman thing, where they take someone who is quote unquote uncouth, they're not up to the standards that they want them to be, and then they bring them up to that standards, but their previous life still sort of seeps back in, especially when that one lady in My Fair Lady is at the racehorse track, and she's like, "Move your bloomin' ass!"
yeah,
Which I love that scene.
yeah.
And I can't do a British accent, so I apologize to you,
It
Randy.
wasn't too
and
bad.
everybody
It
else.
wasn't too bad.
But
It's just that's what it invoked in me.
okay. But back to Shockeye and Six, because this is fucked.
Yeah,
Hey,
A bit.
remember Oscar Cyanide? Thinking quickly, once he finds it, the doctor sets a trap for Shock Guy and basically asphyxiates him with it.
Yeah.
Man who never would my arse.
Man who never would my ass. Not only does he do that, like, you could argue he kills himself, but then he stands over his body and makes like a James Bond-ass quip.
Yeah. You're just desserts.
Like,
basically what happens
and he makes another
is...
one when he gets back to the gang. They're like, what happened to Shock Guy? What does he say? I gotta go back and find it.
Oh, for God's sakes.
He's like, oh, where's Shock Guy? He's been mothballed.
Oh, God.
Christ
basically, inside of Oscar's little jar, there is some little crumbs of what are supposed to be cyanide, but are quite obviously dry ice, and some cotton. So what the doctor does is he takes the cotton, he puts the cyanide in it, pours water on top, which starts steaming, and that soaks the cyanide into the cotton wool. When Shock Guy has his back to him, the doctor puts the net over his face and then quickly clamps on the cloth over his mouth, killing him. It's quite hardcore.
It really is hardcore.
And you wonder why the show got in heat over this shit and put on hiatus.
And speaking of hardcore, so Dastari has a heel face turn. He comes to his senses. He frees the two doctors and, well, sorry.
Two and Perry.
He frees two and Perry. I forgot Six is off at this point. He frees them. Six come back to them having dealt with Shock Eye. Justini comes in with a gun. There's a bit of talk between her and Dastari, and she just shoots Dastari dead.
Yeah.
Redemption equals death, as we know.
Yeah, but then Jamie comes in and just, like, hawks the knife at her and she drops the gun.
Yeah, he throws a knife at her.
Well, it does. I don't think it actually stabs her. I think the hilt hits her hand and makes her drop the gun.
Yeah, it doesn't.
She drops the gun.
It doesn't catch Chesini, but the shock of it makes her drop the gun. She's like, I have to escape.
This. I'm going in the time machine. Uh-oh.
Big mistake.
Unfortunately, in this case, she is not the master, and she can't just come back the next episode saying, I escaped, because she does not.
Chesini blows up in the time machine.
She is molecularly disintegrated.
Which makes her revert back to an androgun as she dies.
Oh, the goddamn red eyebrows.
The red eyebrow. I've watched, I think I've watched the commentary on DVD before. These poor guys are in 100 degrees weather in Spain with red eyebrows and Rice Krispies taped to their faces.
Wait, was that actually the makeup?
The makeup was Rice Krispies.
Oh my god!
I love that.
I'm not making that shit up.
No. I'm just saying. Oh my god!
But that's basically the resolution.
Yeah, the doctors and their companions say their goodbyes.
2 has some Time Lord tech 6 always wanted, but
it is a Statenheim remote control.
Whatever that means. So they head off. 6 and Perry have some talk, and 6 is basically Perry asks, "So are we going fishing again?" And the doctor, having seen all this, is like, "No, from now on we're going."
Hey, punchline.
I wonder if a vegetarian wrote this episode.
Gee, could that be the case?
So heavy-handed.
On a scale of, it's not quite episode that Rainiac doesn't want me to name.
It's almost like they're smacking us in the head with a message. Oh god, why did I say that?
I say that Thatcher woman is quite awful.
Let's put it this way. It would be less obvious if the writer just came onto the set and was like, "Hey, I'm vegetarian, guys. I'm vegetarian. Keep that in mind. I'm vegetarian."
Oh god. And that was the 2 doctors. It was not the twin dilemma as I thought it would be. The 2 doctors. So
okay, so let's summarize the 2 doctors then. Since you've been tortured with the whole bait and switch with the twin dilemma, which I do apologise for, but also not, because we've got that brilliant Colin Baker moment. Why don't you go first, Jerry?
I can't wait to watch that in full once, I was distracted a bit by the shock of it all. I really got to take that in. But you were saying?
Yeah, why don't you go first? The 2 doctors.
Okay, 2 doctors. It's pretty good. it could have been better in place. It's not like perfect, but it's very good for what it is.
Yes.
Sontarans aren't used best. The idea of two doctors isn't really used that well. It's basically just one doctor in peril and the other going to rescue him. But it does lead to funny things like two in Shakai's fine dining adventure. The vegetarian stuff is heavy-handed at times, but I've seen worse. And it can be it's a little subtle than one might expect in places. Like, it's not popping up the whole episode, the whole story, but in places it's strong.
Yeah.
And I like Six and Perry's dynamic in it. She's a little sassy and confident. Not quite as much, but passable. Jamie's really good. I like the interplay with the villains. And there's some funny lines. It's a solid Colin Baker episode. Like B tier Colin Baker episode. We'll say that.
Okay. Cat?
I really enjoyed being able to trick Fresno, and that's pretty much all I have to say.
I mean,
But no, yeah, it was a really good episode. I had a lot of fun with this, and a lot of the stuff I could hand wave away, like the Sontaran's costumes, because of the times. And honestly, after a point, I stopped noticing it, and I started getting more and more into the fact that the Sontarans were actually pretty good at acting. Especially with that hilarious scene of that poor guy. Oh, jeez. Stabbed, like, melted partially, then melted fully, and then put into a big explosion.
He's certainly had a bad
it was
time.
an excellent episode. Yeah, he had a bad day. But, but yeah, I thought it was a really fun episode. It had some crazy twists and turns. It had some, really beautiful sets where they just went to Spain and decided to have fun. I thought it was pretty harmless, essentially. Unlike some other episodes that we could say it's like but won't.
Yeah. Thanks for that. And here's what I thought of the Two Doctors. It's better than Twin Dilemma. Next week, then.
And how would you know you didn't watch it? Unlike some people.
Well, that's partially incorrect.
Wait, what?
I sort of had it on the background.
Oh. Background. I'm here sitting down taking.
I did take notes for what if we were actually going to talk about it in case Cat betrayed me, which was entirely possible.
I
had thought about it, but then I thought, no, just the one.
For a second, when Cat was like, you were like, let's start with the Twin Dilemma. I was like, Cat, say something, please. We're supposed to start with the Two Doctors, aren't we? It's like,
I wanted to see what he would say because honestly, it was kind of interesting.
No, you set it up perfectly. No, okay, so the Two Doctors then. Parts of it are really good. Parts of it are a bit weak. I don't like the fact that Patrick Troughton and Colin Baker didn't get to interact with each other that much in a story called The Two Doctors. Jacqueline Pearce is fantastic as Chastini, but we know this from Blade 7. She's the perfect villainous foil to the protagonist. I love the fact that the villains just openly decide to betray each other and just openly discuss this with each other. That's great. Stank's bad day is hilarious. And how it just escalates from being stabbed in the leg to being attacked with acid to being destroyed in the time machine to being blown up. It's just a great escalation right there. And yeah, as specials go, it's not bad at all. I think the 5 Doctors is better. I think the 3 Doctors is better, but this is good. And Colin Baker, I still think it's sad that Colin Baker is one of the worst Doctors, because he isn't. His stories aren't the best, but that's not his fault. You can tell he's trying his ass off to try and make something work.
I like him in stories that aren't like that.
Yeah. This is better than Time Lash. It's better than Time in the Rani. It's way better than the Twin Dilemma.
Better than Time in the Rani?
I just found out something that is pretty interesting. So, the writer of this story is Robert Holmes, and apparently he's really big in Doctor Who. He may have created the Sontarans.
He did.
Yes, he did.
He also wrote Pyramids of Mars.
Yeah, I just found that out. He wrote Pyramids of Mars, The Brain of Morbius, The Talons of Wing Chang, which we won't talk about that one.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
We're not doing that one on principle.
Yeah, no way.
He did a lot more than I thought he did. It's like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Especially since Pyramids of Mars was under the moniker of Stephen Harris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff.
I knew Stephen Harris was a pseudonym for somebody. I couldn't think who it was when we did that story. So,
and to be fair, he also made the Autons from the very first episode of the new Doctor Who series, Rose.
Yep.
Yeah, he did.
And they were in the first Third Doctor story.
It's amazing.
So, karma incoming then, because next week the decision passes back to One Freezing Inferno. Before you make it, can I just say, Jerry, that I've always liked you as a friend.
Well, no, see, we're perfectly fine because there's only two options here. Option one is that he had no idea this was coming, so he'll have to go with his original choice, whatever that may be. Option two is he just goes ahead and fucks us over and does the Twin Dilemma, which we've already got everything we need for that anyway, so...
Hey, Kat.
Yeah?
Option one. Next time on Doctor Who Reviews, Patrick Troughton in The Macra Terror.
Hey!
Oh! Wait a second. You've done a thing here.
I've done a thing here.
Yes, you have, because the Macra Terror does not exist.
It does not exist. There is no such thing as Macra, except unless somebody has done an animation of it.
Oh!
Which they have.
So we're going to do our very first quote-unquote lost Doctor Who?
Yes.
Yes.
Nice.
And until those fuckers animate the underwater planet, this is what we have to do.
I was going to say, I could have sworn you were going to do the underwater menace next. I was like, you can't because there's a part missing.
2 parts missing.
2 parts missing, yeah. So this will have to do. So, next time then, we're going to do an animated story, and I'm excited for this.
And it's Patrick Troughton again, and he actually gets to get turned into an androgun.
It's probably good that we get to see an actual representation of his work on the show. We can compare it to the 2 Doctors.
Albeit in cartoon form.
Yes. He doesn't eat a restaurant out of house and home and then stab a guy.
No.
Is Jamie there?
Yes, Jamie is there.
Yes. I'm fully in now.
Is he?
Hell yeah.
I don't know anything about this, so...
I told you. Jamie's in every second Doctor story except his very first.
Yes. So
Which his very first is also.
Who is the other companion then?
Ben and Polly.
And Victoria, right?
No, Victoria
She's after.
Oh. I don't know. I didn't know there was a Victoria that was mentioned in the first part that wasn't actually used.
Yeah, Ben and Polly are the companions when the first Doctor regenerates. They stay with the Doctor a little bit through the Troughton era, and then they depart, and then Victoria comes in.
So look forward to that, and that should put an end to this episode now.
Yeah, so thank you to Freezing Inferno for being a very good sport about being tricked.
Oh my God.
And for showing some mercy.
Colin Baker tutted my name.
And mine. And thought I was from America. What the hell? Actually, he thought you were from America as well, but...
You know, he's actually...
And I'm just going to say here, honestly, Colin Baker was awesome during this, because apparently for the website that we used, Cameo, which we're not getting sponsored by them, and that's quite obvious. But essentially they have a certain time limit that they have in order to be able to get this to us. And he managed to get this done for me in just about a day or so.
Yeah.
Class act.
I think you've got a week before it's refunded. He did it in a day.
Yeah. Plus, I think he could choose to just not do it if he didn't want to. So.
No, I think it seems like it was a real good.
He was a real good sport about it.
Thank you, Colin Baker.
He was into it.
Our huge eternal thanks to. I can't believe I'm saying this.
The cardboard mask.
The one and only Mr. Colin Baker for appearing in our podcast. Pinch Me, I'm Dreaming.
Hell yeah.
We've hit the big time, and then everything is just downhill from here.
We were never uphill. Come on now. It's just flat.
I know. It's a very, very small hill we're rolling down now.
And I'm pushing a boulder up a bit constantly. I am the Sisyphus of Doctor Who reviewing. You hear it here first.
Oh, God.
But yeah, thank you, FreezingInferno, for taking it on the chin and being a sport. Thank you, Kat, for setting up that incredible surprise. Thank you to Mr. Colin Baker for actually doing the surprise. I really didn't think that was going to happen. Thank you to you, the audience, who I'm guessing a lot of you are probably dumbfounded right now.
Oh, I think the people who watch this regularly have freaked the fuck out.
I cannot wait to find out Mike's reaction to this, Milo's reaction to this.
Oh my God.
Polly.
I'm gonna vague tweet about this.
Yeah, I think what I'll do is I will thank him. I will thank him personally, but I won't link him to the video.
Well,
if he goes into your Twitter feed, he's probably going to find it.
And then we're in trouble.
I hope he doesn't find the Sixth Doctor music video I made to Weird Al Yankovic's parody song Tapping.
You said that to him, Bo. You said that to him.
I did. I don't think he ever saw it. I just thought of that. Oh my God. No.
Well, it looks like it's time for me to go on Twitter and retweet something.
Good night, everybody.
Given what he did, how he acted with this, I think he'd probably take it in the right light. But yeah, as he's just said, good night, everybody. See you next week for the Backward Terror.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Jesus Christ, I cannot believe. I think we should just shotgun through the stories and don't poke on every little detail. Because how long we got? 2 hours?
Yes, I guess.
Yes, I guess. Oh, hang on, because I heard crows outside.
I heard a crow.
Which means
ride the motorcycle.
The window's still open, which means
Clara's trying to get us to stop.